Okay, let's use Adobe Illustrator to create some postage stamps, and we'll use a clipping mask in order to keep the art we create inside the shape of the stamps. In other words, inside the perforated area of the stamps. So let's start by getting our template. We'll come up here and click on this tab and get our postage stamps template. And then let's change the workspace. We'll come up here to where it says Essentials, and let's change the workspace to Layout. And now let's go ahead and streamline the Swatches panel. We'll go to the Swatches panel menu and choose Select All Unused. And then click on the trash can at the bottom of the Swatches panel, and we'll delete those. Now I see we still have some colors I'd like to delete, so I'll click on the grays folder here and delete that one, and then click and shift click on those two colors and delete those. Okay, now we've got the Swatches panel streamlined. Let's go ahead and add some colors. We'll go into the Window menu and we'll go to Extensions and Cooler. And so now we've got the Adobe Cooler panel open. Let's go ahead and search for a color theme. I'll type in Sunset, and we come up with some color combinations. Let's choose this one. And at the bottom of the Cooler panel, let's click on this button that says Add Selected Theme to Swatches. We'll click on that button. And then we look in our Swatches panel and we see those colors have been added and they're inside a folder, which is nice. So we'll go ahead and close the Cooler panel and then take a look at the Layers panel. And in the Layers panel, we see we have two top-level layers, one called Student Art and the other one called Stamps Outline. And so let's see what's on that Stamps Outline layer by clicking on the eyeball. We'll hide it and then show it. So this tells us the art that is on that layer. And we're going to use that art as the shape of the clipping mask. So in order to do that, we need to make a copy of that layer and move it above the student art, because the shape used for the clipping mask must be on top of or above the art on the stamps. So we'll make a copy of this layer by clicking on it and dragging it on top of the New Layer button at the bottom of the Layers panel. And now we see we've got a copy of that layer called Stamps Outline Copy. And I'm going to move it above Student Art by clicking on it and just moving it up until it's above Student Art. Now we're just going to save that layer for later to use as the clipping mask. So for right now, I'm going to click on the eyeball and hide the Stamps Outline Copy layer, and then click on Student Art. So what we'll do now is just create some pretend art on the stamps. So we have something to hide with our clipping mask. Let's go ahead and we'll just get the rectangle tool, and we'll click and draw a rectangle on that stamp and choose a different color here on our Swatches panel. And we're just going to draw and color a bunch of rectangles on these stamps in order to pretend like we're creating art on the postage stamps. So I'll just use different colors from that color palette that we chose. And we're just creating pretend art here on the postage stamps. And I think I'll do one more great big rectangle that will even go outside the perforated edges of the stamps. And this will be our background art. So I'll go ahead and choose that and go up to the Object menu to Arrange and say Send to Back. So that'll go to the back on that layer, and it's behind the copy of the stamps outline that we made earlier. And if I turn that eyeball on for that layer, the stamps outline copy layer, I'll turn that back on by clicking the eyeball. And now we can see that art once again, but this time that art is above or on top of the student art. and that's right where it belongs in order to use it as a clipping mask. So what we'll do next is select all the art on that layer, the Stamps Outline Copy layer, by clicking on the target on the far right here on that layer. And when we click on that little target, oh, I see it's locked. Okay, so I will unlock it, click on the padlock there, and unlock that layer. Let's try again. So now I'll click on the target on the far right side of that layer, and all the art that's on that top level layer has been selected. Then I'm going to hold down the Shift key and click on the target to the right of the student art here, and now all the art on that layer has been selected. And we need to do this in order to make a clipping mask. So the Stamps Outline Copy is above the student art. The Stamps Outline Copy art is all selected. All the art on the student art layer has been selected. We've used the targets on those layers to make those selections. And now we're going to go under the Object menu, and we'll go down to where it says Clipping Mask, and we'll just go to the word Make here and make our clipping mask. And there we go, just like that. Now we've got the art that we created on the postage stamps conforming to the shape of the stamps. And I'll just get my black arrow selection tool and then click away to deselect, and we can take a look at our art, and we see that it conforms nicely to the perforated area of the stamps.